What show?
The Whitey Show, the Whitey Show.
Whitey Show.
I'm the review who loves to say son of a bitch. The same review who hates most Nintendo shit. I'm the one who calls games what they are. I even own the 360 and hate Gears of War. Guy who spends his money on games, fucking cards. Just a funny guy who became a YouTube star.
So the story begins basically where you're in the school, you're the main character and a bunch of your friends, and you're playing this game called Persona, and then this spirit thing or woman or girl, whatever you want to call it, appears. You all get knocked out by some lightning, and you wake up the next day and somehow you can summon these Persona things behind you and that attack and all this good stuff. Without going into too much detail, this is a pretty good story. Overall, I mean, it is Persona, so it has a more dark atmosphere than most RPGs, and to me, just a little bit more mature atmosphere and more realistic, and I've always liked that about Persona, so this is definitely here. And to me, the voice acting isn't bad, though I know this is a common complaint by a lot of Japanese RPG fans. So, I enjoy those two. The one thing I didn't like was that, and this is being spoiled by Persona 3 and 4, and basically almost every game on the PS2, is that it wasn't fully voice acted, and when they're talking to each other, I always like to hear the voices, and since I like the voice acting here, I would have liked that. And there's only very certain parts that have voice acting, so that was a little weak in my opinion, but overall the story is still intact and is definitely a Persona game. This is such a mixed bag for me. In terms of design, the design is fine in my opinion. I actually like it. The monsters are, similar to every other Shin Megami, but it works out well because those are really cool design, and all the kids look well designed. I have no problems with the design in general. My main complaints in the graphic are the environments are ugly as hell, and they seem not to want to update the graphics at all here, and the animations for the most part suck ass, but luckily you can skip that through battles. Well, this is a Japanese RPG, and let's be honest, they all play very similar unless they're real-time where they're trying to do a little bit more, but the whole crowd doesn't like that, and you all can bitch. But let's get back to Persona. Persona adds a few new things, for me anyway, since I never played the first. The general attack system is a little different. You can attack with either a weapon, such as a sword or such like that, or you can attack with a gun. I think that's pretty funny and good. And then you can attack with your Persona, which is usually a magic attack or boosts your stats and so on. So that adds like different strategies in different situations, and I kind of like that. And it's an old-fashioned RPG type fighting system, so it works out well in my opinion. I have no problem with turn-based. Also, you can actually talk to the demons and kind of befriend them, so they give you items and cards and so on, so that's pretty cool too. Overall, the gameplay in terms of the actual battle system is fine. What's not fine is the terrible random battle fucking ratio. Holy hell, do you fight so many random battles that I know you do not want to fight over and over again. Some people can handle this. Maybe when I was 15 I can handle this, but now I cannot, especially on the go. I want to pick up a game, I want a few fights, and then I get to a boss. I don't want 20 fights in a matter of 2 minutes. I don't want that. And this is what this game throws at you. It keeps throwing random battles over and over again. Every 5 steps it feels like I'm fighting another battle, which I don't even need. Most of these fights are like 20 seconds, but it's boring to sit there and do that 20 times. Do you know what I'm saying? So the terrible, terrible ratio on random battle systems, it's not acceptable, and it's one of the biggest faults I've ever seen in an RPG for me, and I just can't deal with it, and that's going to lower the score huge for me, because it's making me not want to play this game. And the exploring really isn't fun, basically because it's first-person dungeon crawling, and I'm backing into walls, and it feels quirky and weird, and it's no Oblivion, I'll tell you that much. It's actually a little hard to explore at times, and and the environments are so ugly, so I don't even want to explore. So overall, while the gameplay, that main mechanic of fighting is fine, there's way too many problems in the gameplay section alone. Let me tell you that I am not a huge Shin Megami fan. I am a fan, don't get me wrong, but I haven't played all of them. I've basically played all the PS2 ones, and I've played the Devil Survivor and now Persona. And I love Persona 3 and 4. I love Digital Devil Saga. I liked Devil Survivor, but this game did not come through for me. It felt way too outdated, and I would really suggest this game only for big, huge, humongous fans of the series or old school RPG. If you're either of those, you probably can get through this game. Sadly, I may have been spoiled by too many RPGs that just don't have a random battle every 2 seconds. But that's not to say that this game doesn't offer stuff for people. It is a very long adventure, and you're going to get your money's worth if you can get over these problems, or the problems that I have don't bother you. You're going to love this game because you can play this for hours and hours. It's a very long adventure. And there's also a whole side quest which you can choose not to do or do, and then you can go back and play it and see the other way it happens. And so it's basically a branching story at a part, and you can do that. So this game is very long, plenty of replay value for fans of it. But if you're like me and you can't stand the random battles every fucking 3 seconds, and you can't stand the outdated graphics and the ugliness of exploring this world, then I have to say Persona is a pass, and I suggest you just stick with the new ones.